All right, recording is starting, and I'll give a quick intro. Welcome, Ben, to the Wholesome Crypto Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, Rudy. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to be here too. I know you have an upcoming growing page, a YouTube channel about altcoin analysts and different cryptocurrencies in the industry and what they're doing, how the token economics work, and stories about their growth and kind of helping out the industry learn a little bit more about cryptocurrencies. But before we get into the whole crypto education part of it, I do want to know a little bit more about Ben and where was Ben in life before ever even getting into this industry or ever even hearing about cryptocurrencies.
Sure. So I first heard about it maybe in 2013 when media started writing about it. I think Wired Magazine wrote about it a bunch, and there was some other kind of under the radar magazines. It wasn't quite in the Wall Street Journal or New York Times just yet. But yeah, it just piqued my articles, just piqued my interest. The articles, I just started following it more. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin in 2014 the first time, not too much, just a little. And then I started following it regularly then, maybe once, twice a week, checking the prices, so not as religiously as now. It wasn't just like wake up, coin market cap.
Yeah.
It was just, twice a week. Didn't get too invested in it, but I was there for the Mt. Gox rise and fall. It was about a 6-week period. No one knew what was going on. I didn't have any coins there, but it was affecting the price. And people, were they hacked? Were they not hacked? Did they have the money to give people, or were those coins lost forever? Then after 6 weeks of the coin price kind of going down slightly, then they announced they were hacked. People weren't getting their money back, and then it plummeted. It went down 35% in one day. Stayed there for about 2 years. So that was my first bear market cycle. So I wasn't really, again, I was just about checking the prices maybe once a week then. But then 2017, summer 2017, got back into it. Prices were rising again. The buzz was coming back. The value of my crypto was increasing. And so started following it more than I had to do due diligence. Bought some other altcoins, diversified my portfolio, started an investment fund. I ran that for about a year and a half. That was sort of mixed results, some hits, some misses. I wasn't really a huge fan of the investing process. I like to be a little more involved than that. So that was sort of mixed results right there. Then 2019, I was out of the industry again for about another year and a half, and then got back into it 2022 with my influencer channel, which I love doing, and that's definitely my favorite part of the industry that I've been involved
Nice.
in.
Nice. And so when you first heard about like Bitcoin, did it make sense to you immediately, or did it take some time for you to actually get a grasp of what it means?
From a technical standpoint, not really. And then the peer-to-peer payment thing, I kind of knew from the start it was never really going to turn into that. But from a speculative vehicle, even though not too many people were actually buying it to trade, I definitely saw the potential. And it was just something exciting. You could
Yeah.
check the prices, learn charting, learn technical analysis, volumes. Stocks were just kind of boring ever since the late 90s. Like dot-com boom, it was exciting, and there was no sort of volatile speculative asset. So I kind of knew immediately Bitcoin was going to fill that void.
Nice. And so were you always into type of like economics and trading in your life, or did Bitcoin really start like getting you more involved in that aspect for trading?
Uh, Always a little bit of an interest. I bought some dot-coms back in 98, 99. High school, I was checking the prices in the library. I remember purchasepro.com. It went up from $3 to like $84 in its
Oh wow.
first week, and then it like tanked right back down. I don't think the company exists anymore. So yeah, I was used to the boom and bust, rise and fall circles. I didn't really do too much trading after the dot-com era. So for about another 12, 13 years, but I was always kind of reading books about it, learning due diligence, that kind of stuff. And then Bitcoin just came just at the perfect time.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely interesting because I mean, I don't think I was too young to like trade or know anything about trading back in the 90s. But this is like Bitcoin's definitely my first real experience in volatility like this. I've seen and like dabbled in stocks obviously like right out of high school. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy my first share of some type of company for like a couple bucks. And that felt good, but this is a totally different animal, and getting used to this type of animals is definitely a wild ride. Um, so then, while you were learning and growing into the industry, what kind of made you want to start an influencer page on YouTube?
It's so I should have started one in 2017 during that bull run because there was hardly any competition. And then those guys who have stuck with it, like CryptoLark or like Chico Crypto, I mean, those guys are making bank right now.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who started a page then was pretty much successful because there was no one. There was like 5 people. That was it. But yeah, so it wasn't quite as much a thing back then, so I didn't do it then. Then around 2020, 2021, for a year, I was sort of toying with the idea. I'm like, yeah, I think that's the part of the industry that would really relevant, that would be resonate with me. A little bit lazy about it for a while, but it was always in the back of my mind. Then I finally hit the ground running in April, and it's been a success ever since. 14,000 subscribers in 4 months in a bear market. That's pretty good from what other people I've been talking to who have been, their numbers have been dwindling. Especially for a new page, it's even harder to get traction. So yeah, it's been very successful so far, and I'm liking it.
Did you even when you first got into it, were you hoping to get all these obviously you want to get as many followers as you can, but a part of me when I made this podcast, I'm like, I can't even really imagine this going anywhere. But it kind of has been growing steadily, and I've been getting more and more people on my show. It's exciting to network and learn and to kind of make friends in the industry. But did you was this kind of blowing out of your expectations? What's going on with your influence page?
It was pretty much in line with my expectation. If it was a bull market, then I probably would have wanted even higher growth rate.
Mm-hmm.
But for the bear market, I think it's been the first month you have a ton of growth. There's a curiosity element. All your friends know you started, so everyone's checking it out. Then after the first 3 weeks, it goes down a little bit. The newness sort of wears off, and then you just sort of slowly kind of grind it back up like that. So it's been pretty much in line with my expectations. I like it a lot because it allows me to sort of choose the coins I want to feature. As opposed to if you're working in the industry, you might be a great sort of director of marketing, but then are you really going to be 100% passionate about that one project, that one coin? Maybe, but probably not. Where influencing, you get to pick all the coins that you want to follow and however long you want to follow them, keep them in your portfolio, the different sectors. So That's what I like about it.
And how do you decide which ones to feature? Because I'm sure, because we hear tons of stories of influencers in the crypto industry, just cash grabbing and rug pulling, and using their following to just kind of get paid from advertisers to talk about their coin and kind of just pump and dump. But it's definitely a sensitive situation because any cryptocurrency can fall for that, what it looks like a scheme where if it's a new project, gets a good increase in price, people are noticing it, hits a bull market, then everyone kind of just forgets about it. But doesn't mean that the token or the project is bad. It's just that there was no growth, and they couldn't stay in the market and compete with other coins. So I'm wondering, how do you pick and choose what to feature, and how do you handle coins that are trying to use your influence page as a way to market?
Well, the ones I choose, it's really just the most buzzworthy coins. If you choose totally new coins, they're going to get much less views. So it's got to be something people are already talking about. Usually that's from a coin that's been increasing a lot in price recently, especially in a bear market. I did this meme coin last week, Tsuka, Dejitaro Tsuka. So it looks kind of, cheesy, meme coinish, but the last month, they've totally outperformed Bitcoin and the rest of the market. It's been basically a straight shoot up, but totally organic growth there, and a $0 marketing coin. It's just buzz. So will it keep going? I don't know, but people have been talking about that coin. They'll look for the coins like that where there's not too much information about them. Maybe if you look on YouTube, there's only 1 or 2 other videos. But then, they'll go to my video, but it is a lot of good information I'm providing since people are noticing the price increases there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coins that come to me, they generally look at the different projects that I have promoted and which altcoins I like, and you generally do get the ones that are in the same sectors, similar, style of coins, similar use case, team from similar geographic regions. So it all pretty much works out, I'd say.
Yeah. And that's a tough part too, because you want to give the best advice and best information on that coin, with also making sure that people who are listening are very careful on be careful what you buy still. You never know what's going to happen. It could be, a shit coin in a few days or weeks, but also could be the next coin to run up and generate a huge profit for you. So it's safety in the industry is hopefully something that you keep a top priority.
It's
too.
yeah, no, for the sponsored videos I do, for every like 10 requests I get over email, I only end up doing about two of them, one or two out of 10.
Hmm.
So at most you get, it's just a total, a shit coin, or even could be a scam, or maybe it's just a coin you can't even promote yourself. So yeah, most I say no to, but the ones that end up, they're the ones that I like myself, and they do all sort of fit the criteria I look for in, an investment anyway. So it works out pretty well.
Nice. And you focus more on the investment aspect of these coins, right?
Yeah, right. As opposed to like developer mindset and just looking at like TVL and all that stuff. Now everybody's got to tie into, okay, well they're gaining a lot of traction, so the price is going to go up. Because I mean that's what excites me the most, and that's honestly what the viewers want the most. But then
Yeah,
you gotta put your not financial advice, all that stuff as you mentioned there. Got to be delicate about that.
exactly. Yeah. And like, yeah, being in this space for a while now and kind of being occupied with it almost all the time. How do you spend your time like outside of crypto? What do you do to kind of like decompress and like take care of your mental health and stay away from that 24/7 industry? Just to take a break from crypto. What's your uh, extracurricular activities?
It's a good. People do not put enough emphasis on that. These people like on crypto Twitter, they're just like so zoned in. It's unhealthy. I like to work out a lot, go to the gym, outdoorsy stuff, family, hanging out with them, going out with friends. But with the social life and family activities, it's pretty active for me. That kind of fills the void
Hmm.
right there. So I don't need to sort of proactively seek out other sort of social answers. And then exercise, release the endorphins. That's
Yeah.
always mentally healthy there.
Yeah. And like when you hang out with your friends and family, are they always asking, yo, what's the next coin I should buy? Like, are they always trying to pick your brain? And do you give in, or you're like, just don't even ask me about that. I'm taking a break.
You've always got like one or two family members who are really into it, asking those questions. The other ones don't really care too much.
Yeah.
They'll just ask about something they read on the front page of the newspaper. If there was like some huge hack or some one particular, like the Ethereum merge, they're reading about that. Otherwise, most family members kind of aren't, sort of into it, but not really that much.
Yeah. And it's tough because like for me, I always want to teach my family members like the development aspect of it, or like the technological aspect of like why Ethereum is so amazing, like the financial aspect of like, oh, why Bitcoin is great for this, and all these other coins that are out there. It's just kind of, trying to change their mindset and understanding like the peer-to-peer, decentralized data ownership, self-sovereignty, like governance mindset of like what I think the world's going to move into one day, or hopefully. But that's a tough conversation to always have and always keep bringing on, and hopefully one day like that light bulb pops in their head. But yeah, it's always tough getting people on board.
Right. Some people are just never going to get on board. I feel like it's just like a waste of conversation, even.
Yeah, it has to be. That's the thing. Like, we have to make blockchain and cryptocurrency so simple to the point where they don't even know they're using it. Like, no one knows what they're using in their bank account apps. Like I'm sure there's a bunch of different APIs going on in my bank account that's doing online transactions and movements, or like PayPal, but I have no idea what's happening for real in the back end. I just know my dollar went from here to there, and I'm happy. And that's pretty much what's going to happen with cryptocurrencies one day.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And being in this industry too is seeing a lot of what's going on in crypto Twitter and like different like probably altcoins battling each other. What is like a crypto pet peeve that you have?
Yes, that's a good question you asked. So I've got two at the moment. Since this whole group of perma bears, these people who are just perpetually bearish, they like enjoy being bearish. They think it's going to nuke down to 12,000 or zero. They like want it to happen. Have you noticed this group of people?
There's always a group of people who are like just hoping it always goes less and less so they can keep buying. But I'm like, that's
My theory. It almost even seems more personal than that. I think like they might, maybe they like want to blame the negative prices on inflation and whatnot, and the Federal Reserve and interest rates, and so I think they like psychologically want the prices to go down so they can just blame something on the government, and maybe they're just not even into the trading element too much. But yeah, they were not around in 2018. The perma bears, anyone who was negative on crypto Twitter, they would just be like people just ream into them immediately, and so they'd have to get bullish. So that's one difference between that bear market and this bear market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other group of people, it is the perma, yeah, and that the BTC maxis. They've kind of been like, what do you? They're I don't know. They've been getting very aggressive. Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin by 3 to 4 times over the last 2.5 years since the pandemic began. So I'm not really sure why these BTC maxis, I call them the maxi wackies, because sometimes a little bit Looney Tune-ish. I don't know why they've been getting so aggressive and hostile lately. Have you noticed that yourself?
Oh yeah, I've definitely noticed that a lot too. Especially, I mean, I like to follow Ethereum a lot, so I do see a lot of attacks on Ethereum from the Bitcoin maxis. But it's like it's such a this industry is supposed to bring people together because it's a global industry, decentralizing everyone and kind of getting in line with this blockchain technology. But it's such a chaotic environment where everyone's pointing fingers at each other and yelling at each other like, oh no, your blockchain can't do this, my blockchain's bigger than your blockchain. And just like, imagine if you put all that like mental energy and effort into working together and actually creating a way to solve problems instead of just saying who's like the shit coin. And that's the thing too, is like, it's either a Bitcoin maxi or it's like nothing. So like that's how the Bitcoin maxis think. It's just like, it's Bitcoin or die. But most other coins are like, no, there's a whole slew of different currencies, different altcoins that's available. Like Ethereum, Algorand, like Polygon, and then there's also Bitcoin that everyone still does enjoy and love. It just, like, the competition is not really helping, and it's kind of just making Bitcoin look worse because it's like a hostile type takeover, and it's not necessary. And if you can't convey your messages in a like a logical, rational, and constructive criticism way, then people won't take you as seriously because they're just hostile.
Right. And then, Ethereum has outperformed them. And that's a good point you make. If you're an altcoin fan, you do kind of also like Bitcoin. But the Bitcoin people, they just sort of it's only Bitcoin. So, yeah, why can't you like a bunch of coins? I don't get it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you can also bridge different coins. Like Ethereum has a whole like alternate universe of different altcoins. But there's works on like bridging coins together or like creating layer twos. I know like Bitcoin has their own layer two, Lightning. But even in that case, if Bitcoin is the end all be all, then it shouldn't need a layer two, but it does. So it's kind of weird. But at least, the constructive criticism in the Ethereum ecospace where it's like, yeah, Ethereum's great, but we're also making it better because we know that it could be better and there's room for improvement, where maxis usually are not looking for rooms for improvement. They think it's perfect the way it is and doesn't need to change, but things have to change in the future.
The maxis do not look to improve their coin or themselves or anything. It's just their way or the highway.
Yep. Yeah. So then, do you think, I guess, what would you be doing now if you never got into crypto?
It's a good point. Nothing as exciting or enjoyable. I don't know. I worked in corporate finance for a little bit before this. I never really loved it that much. Banking, have an MBA. I never really found the field that was just, wake up and that's all I'm thinking about all day. Even when I'm doing other stuff, I'm just playing on my next videos, checking the charts. So yeah, I pretty much nothing as fun as this.
Yeah, it's hard because that's when I ask that question, it's always like hard to imagine life without being in crypto once you get into it, because I can't imagine that either. It's kind of how I surround my professional career and like personal like hobbies. It's always like crypto. There's other things I do too, of course, but it's always fun to work in the industry.
Yeah, if you were like a professional athlete, maybe that's another field that would be as exciting, but not everyone can do that. So there's almost no other fields that are as sort of up and down, volatile, exciting as crypto.
Yeah. And what advice would you give to anyone who's new into this space and looking at some altcoin? Like, how would you guide them in terms of saying, in terms of if it is a good coin to invest in or not?
Yeah, it's a good question. Just the team comes first. Just check out the team, do as much due diligence as you can. Look at the companies they've worked for in the crypto space. Always, if they have crypto specific experience, that's good. Look at the VCs that are behind each crypto project. You're not going to be too familiar with them initially, but as you keep doing projects, you'll start to see the big ones because that's the biggest stamp of approval. If any big name VC, either like a Singapore one or a Silicon Valley one, if they have invested even just a tiny amount in a project, that's a stamp of approval right there. So that's good. And then just in terms of the socials, the Twitter, it's a great way to just sort of feel the pulse of the community. Just read it every day. It's not just like a one day thing. You just follow it and just see if the tone gets more and more enthusiastic, more and more exciting, see if the numbers are growing, see what kind of themes everyone's talking about. If you sense just an increased excitement and buzz, then that's a coin whose price is going to most likely go up and reflect that.
Yeah, it's for me. It's always been tough. I've never been like a trader. I think, yeah, I just like I'm definitely more of a bearish person. I'm like, all right, everyone just calm down, let it ride out. Let's just keep it nice and even. Like I have no idea when to put my money in or take my money out. I'm just slowly putting in whenever I can or when I can afford it, and yeah, just slowly ride that roller coaster because it's been pretty crazy.
It's the best way to be in the long run, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a long run thing for me too because yeah, I'm young. I have to have a lot more work to do to retire. Great. So, and how do you focus at all in the NFT space or no?
Not really. I'd like to learn a little bit more about it. I think it's always going to its popularity is going to mirror the popularity of the market. When we're in a bull run, NFTs are going to be huge. When we're in a bear market right now, they're not as big. I sort of relate it to like the strip club space with Wall Street. You know, when the strip club spending goes down, you know that a bear market's coming. But when Wall Street's flying high, a lot of money is going to strip. That's like NFT. It's very optional spending. So people are spending in the bull market, not as much in the bear market. But I think it always will be around permanently.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, yeah, being in this industry for a while, I'd like to know, like one of the last questions. What is your most like or favorite wholesome crypto moment? Something in the crypto industry that happened to you that made you feel good or you were just happy to see?
Sure, it would probably just be a time period. The month of December 2017, I mean, that month was just amazing. It was the single best performing month of crypto. It went from 3,000 to 19,000. So it was the highest percentage return in 1 month. Anyone who was going to meetups or conferences then, the buzz, the energy was just like, it was unlike anything else. It was just like you just walked out of your first meetup there. You were just excited. You just found something that was just going to take over the world. You just kind of knew it was going to skyrocket, basically. So that 1 month period was probably my best memory, and obviously we want to get that period back right now. So that's the goal.
So yeah, it's all about trying to get the positive and exciting energy out from the people and just all together in a space, just talking, getting buzzed, and ready for the bull market.
Right, and just an excitement, like if a new sector came out in crypto that had a bunch of new projects, just getting that intellectual stimulation. That's what would resonate, translated to excitement in the meetups.
Nice. Do you go to a lot of meetups around the area?
And not in Boston, just this one here. I want to be going to some more conferences just because that's the best way to sort of meet people, grow the channel. Any other conferences on your agenda coming up?
Nothing on mine. Winter's coming, so everything kind of just quiets down, especially in the Boston area.
Yeah, I'm really like BTC in Miami. It's not until May, so there's not one like uniform conference that everyone's going to be at for another 8 months or something.
ETH Denver. There's going to be ETH Denver in February.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's not good. Like BTC Miami is going to have everyone big from the US, but a lot of the people that you just want to meet in person, you got to wait until probably BTC, because then Consensus is a month after BTC Miami, so that's the only other one. But why? So ETH Denver, that is a good turnout.
Yeah, I went there last year. It was an amazing turnout. A lot of people, a lot of fun. Just like you said, it was just good vibes all around, and it was just exciting meeting all these people who were hyped up on creating something in the blockchain space. And it was definitely more developer focused because it is Ethereum, but there were other cryptocurrencies, other chains there too. So it wasn't just so one sided.
And it was a lot of well-known people in the space.
Oh yeah. Vitalik was there. A lot of the Bankless people were there. A lot of think anyone who was like dabbling in Ethereum was there. It was like 15,000 people turned out, so it was huge.
Oh wow, so that's like BTC Miami
Oh
size.
yeah,
Yeah.
but for Ethereum, yeah, exactly, it was huge. It's probably gonna
Yeah.
get bigger this year too, so I'm excited for them.
So that's like the one that's like the BTC Miami version for Ethereum.
Yeah, it's in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, it's in Denver, Colorado, or
And
Boulder.
what month is it in? Do you know?
February.
February. Okay. All right. Well,
Definitely
yeah,
check
that's
it
good
out.
to know.
Definitely
I'll
check it
mark
out.
that one down. Yeah, sweet.
Not sponsored by ETH Denver, but it would be nice. But
No, yeah,
I was. I'm just making a joke.
yeah. There's not enough good conferences. I'm glad I just learned another one there. That's good news.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, thanks Ben for like coming on and sharing your story and talking to us about how an influencer lifestyle is like, because yeah, it must be pretty. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I hope people that are on your show are getting the value they need out of it, and I hope you continue to grow.
Yep. Thank you. I love it. I hope it gives people value too. It's always something new. That's what I like most about it. I'm glad your show is doing well yourself. So yeah, great talking to you here.
Thanks, Ben.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Rudy.
See ya.
Yeah.